Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling you in on them over the next half hour. Of course, the big story this evening is from JNU. We'll be getting you live updates about the stir at the Jawaharlal Nehru University as well. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Teachers and students gathered at Delhi court for JNU president's case hearing, manhandled by lawyers. Amid the clashes, Kanhaiya Kumar's remand extended by 2 more days. Amit Shah writes blog post accusing Rahul Gandhi of hobnobbing with anti-nationalists. Congress Vice President hits back, saying the ruling party has no right to question his patriotic credentials. Madras High Court judge takes on the Chief Justice of India and 2 Supreme Court justices after he is transferred to the Calcutta High Court and restrained from taking judicial work. Mysore ranked the cleanest city in the country in the government's cleanliness survey. National capital Delhi is 4th, while Dhanbad in Jharkhand is ranked last. And Turkey continues shelling Kurdish units in northern Syria. Syria writes to the UN voicing concern, says the attacks violate its sovereignty. A top story this evening, the Jawaharlal Nehru University protests reverberated at the Patala House courts in Delhi today as the JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar was produced in court. Even as the court extended his custody by 2 more days, students and teachers who reached there to show their support were beaten up. Meanwhile, at JNU, the Vice-Chancellor's appeals for calm also fell on deaf ears as students at the university went on strike, demanding Kumar's immediate release.
The JNU protests reached the courts today as arrested JNUSU President Kanhaiya Kumar was produced in Delhi's Patiala House courts. But even before he got there, violence erupted in the court premises. Teachers and students of the university and even some journalists were attacked and threatened. A large group of lawyers were seen manhandling people while slogans of "Long live India" and "Down with JNU" erupted in the background.
These people, there are 6-7 lawyers here who started lobbying people in the morning कि ये साले पाकिस्तानी हैं, माँ बहन की गालियाँ देते रहे. We were not saying anything to them. We were just 10 people standing and waiting to see.
लेकिन आज जो हुआ है, ये भारत के इतिहास में लोकतंत्र पर और ये जो संविधान है इस पर काला धब्बा है.
ये 10-12 लोगों का एक ग्रुप है जिसको प्रोटेक्ट किया पुलिस ने. ज्यादा नहीं है.
पुलिस ने इनको प्रोटेक्ट किया है और ये वकील भी हैं. मैं पूछती हूँ क्या वकीलों का ये काम है कि लोगों को न्याय दिलाने के बाद लोगों को पीटेंगे? मुझे आज वाकई शर्म आ रही है कि ऐसे लोग देशभक्ति का नारा लगा रहे हैं.
Some journalists who were there to cover the court proceedings were also manhandled. Meanwhile, at the university campus, students are on strike till Kumar is released. Even though the teachers have extended solidarity with the students over the issue, they have not joined the strike yet. Vice-Chancellor Jadesh Kumar has appealed to the students to not resort to strikes and protests so that academic functioning of the university is not hampered.
As we have already mentioned in our press note, we stand by freedom of expression. The entire university community is behind me, teachers, karamcharis and students. We are looking at the entire event. Our inquiry committee is looking into this. It is all of our responsibility to bring normalcy so that we go on with our academic activities.
The Vice-Chancellor also denied teachers' allegations that he had allowed police into the campus to arrest Kanhaiya Kumar. Kumar was arrested on Friday for allegedly participating in the Afzal Guru event on February 9th, in which anti-India slogans were allegedly raised. The left and other opposition parties like the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have called the sedition charge against Kanhaiya Kumar excessive and demanded the students' release. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's go across to our correspondent Vishal Daya, who's been tracking the developments as far as this case is concerned. And Vishal, the standoff really doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon now that Kanhaiya Kumar's custody has been extended for 2 more days, and the vitriolic nature of both the sides of the protest coming through.
Well, yes, you're right, Ishan. There seems to be, no quick end to this entire controversy and the war of words which has erupted between the ruling party and the opposition political parties. Given the fact that the crucial budget session of the parliament is also around the corner, it is highly unlikely that the, opposition specifically would let go of this issue so easily. Also, a new twist in the tale has come with that blog which has been written by the BJP President Amit Shah, in which he has, attacked the Congress leadership as well as the Congress party for, lending support to those who were raising anti-India slogans in that particular event in JNU. So clearly, this is an indication that even the ruling party is not willing to go ahead and retract its steps, even by, a minor chance out here. So that brings us to the position that, this entire controversy and this entire, vitriolic war of words between both sides is going to continue. It's just 5 to 6 more days before the budget session of the parliament formally begins. And it is highly likely that this entire war of words will get transferred inside the house as well.
All right, Vishal, as you were saying, the BJP has, of course, responded with the BJP President Amit Shah making those rather strong statements on his blog, and we'll be playing out a story for that for our viewers shortly as well. In fact, let's play that package out right now, and we'll come back to you, Vishal.
BJP President Amit Shah jumped into the JNU Protests cauldron on Monday, accusing the Congress party of hobnobbing with anti-nationalists. In a blog post on the party website, Shah specifically targets Rahul Gandhi, questioning the Congress Vice President's visit to the campus. He asked several pointed questions of Rahul, including whether the Congress leader has lent his voice to separatists in the country and does he want another partition. In the blog, Amit Shah also targets left parties. He says that a progressive mindset cannot be equated with support for anti-national sentiments.
देश की जमीन पर देश के किसी भी हिस्से पर इस तरह की देशद्रोही गतिविधियों को सहन नहीं करना चाहिए, न सहन किया जाएगा। पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी ने वहां जाकर जिस तरह से इस घटना का समर्थन किया, वो इससे भी ज्यादा चिंता की बात है। तो मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि इससे बड़ी देशद्रोह के लिए सबूत क्या हो सकती है जो ये नारे हैं।
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi reacted sharply to the criticism, saying the ruling party has no right to question his patriotic credentials.
देशभक्ति का लाइसेंस की दुकान खोल रखी है आरएसएस ने। सिर्फ वो कह सकते हैं देशभक्त कौन है, देशद्रोही कौन है, और ये लोग हैं कौन? ये वही लोग हैं जिन्होंने गांधी जी के सीने में 3 गोलियां मारी थी। ये वही लोग हैं जो अंग्रेजों के सामने माफी मांगते थे।
The Congress stood firmly behind its leader, rejecting all charges leveled by Amit Shah.
महात्मा गांधी के विचारों के हत्यारों और गॉडसे के विचारों के वंशजों से हमें या देश को राष्ट्र प्रेम और देशभक्ति का पाठ नहीं सीखना। सबसे अधिक विडंबनापूर्ण यह है कि एक ऐसे व्यक्ति जो खुद माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय द्वारा तड़ी पार कर दिए गए थे, वो राष्ट्र प्रेम और देशभक्ति का पाठ भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस को पढ़ा रहे हैं।
While the Congress has accused BJP-led NDA government of undue use of police force on the JNU campus, the ruling party has termed Congress's stand as being supportive of anti-national elements. With Shyam Sundar, Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
And let's go back to our correspondent Vishal Dahiya. Vishal, the Parliament session just a few days from now, critical bills like the GST, it seems, would not see the light of day given the stands both sides have taken.
Well, it seems so as of now, Ishan, that the government will have a very tough task ahead of itself in the budget session, given the kind of hostilities which have cropped up between amongst both sides, rather both the government and the opposition, and the kind of harsh words which are being used by both sides. So if you look at that blog which has been written by the BJP President Amit Shah, he's not at all minced his words. He's raised those tough questions against the Congress party and its Vice President Rahul Gandhi vis-a-vis his visit to the JNU campus, and asked tough questions with specific words like the partition being used and words like anti-national elements. So obviously this is something which will not be taken lying down by the Congress party, and that is exactly what has happened. In Congress's reply has been as sharp as the allegations from the BJP side, and those allegations time and again which have been repeated from the Congress party with his father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi's murder. So it seems both sides are now leaving no stone unturned in attacking the top leadership of the other side, and this kind of atmosphere, the political atmosphere just before the budget session, will definitely hamper smooth functioning of the parliament. What we will have to wait and watch is whether or not during those all-party meets which are going to take place in next few days, both by the speaker as well as by the government, will the government be able to try and bring about all these opposition parties, specifically the Congress, the main opposition party, to try and ensure that at least the proceedings of the budget session pass off smoothly.
All right, we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens in the budget session. Meanwhile, the country's national integrity itself hanging in the balance. Vishal Dahiya, thank you very much for coming in and helping us understand that a little better. Now, CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri has allegedly received threat calls over extending support to students who were protesting the arrest of JNU Student Union President Kanhaiya Kumar. A police complaint has been registered in this regard and a probe has been initiated by the Delhi police. However, no case has been registered yet. Party sources claimed 3 threat calls were made to the party head office between 10:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. last night. Allegedly, callers were abusing the party general secretary over his support on the JNU issue. Meanwhile, an FIR has also been registered in connection with yesterday's attack on the CPIM head office, following which 3 youth were arrested. Yesterday, a group of youths has allegedly tried to vandalize the party office. The youth had told the police that they belong to the Aam Aadmi Sena, while the party alleged that the men belong to the RSS.
See, as per the information with us, the calls were received at the landline number of the CPM office. There were 3 calls made, and the name of the leaders, Shri Sitaram Yechuri, was also taken by the caller. And we have now got the written complaint, and we will act legally.
The Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi embarked on a 2-day visit to Polband, Assam, aiming to retain power for the 4th consecutive time. Rahul officially launched Congress's election campaign in the state. He addressed a public meeting at Jorhat, the constituency represented by Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi, and Bipura. While addressing rallies, Rahul hit out at the BJP and accused the party of spreading hatred. Rahul also hailed his party for doing a commendable job in the state for the past 15 years. During his 2-day visit, Rahul is expected to interact with leaders of the tea garden labourers community and hold a Padyatra in the Shivasagar district on Tuesday.
2014 में जब चुनाव था लोकसभा का, तो आपको याद होगा कि प्रधानमंत्री जी आए थे और उन्होंने आपसे वायदे किए। कहा था 15 लाख रुपए हम हर बैंक अकाउंट में डालेंगे। मैं आपसे सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं, यहां कोई एक व्यक्ति है जिसके बैंक अकाउंट में मोदी जी ने 15 लाख रुपए डाल के दिखाए? तो जहां भी युवा आरएसएस के खिलाफ बोलता है, उनकी विचारधारा के खिलाफ बोलता है, उसे वो कहते हैं ये देशद्रोही है। देशभक्ति का लाइसेंस की दुकान खोल रखी है आरएसएस ने। सिर्फ वो कह सकते हैं देशभक्त कौन है, देशद्रोही कौन है।
Justice C.S. Karnana of the Madras High Court has said he will order registration of FIR against 2 judges of the Supreme Court under the SC/ST Act. Justice Karnan's action comes after he was restrained by the two-judge bench from taking judicial work. In his defense, he says only allocation of judicial work has been stopped, but his judicial powers were intact. Earlier, Justice Karnan had stayed the Chief Justice of India's orders transferring him to the Calcutta High Court. He also directed the CJI to file a written statement through his subordinates explaining the reason for transferring Justice Karnan by February 29, 2016. The development is not only unprecedented in Indian judiciary, but also a blow to institutional esteem. An Indian Army plan to place younger officers in charge of combat has been cleared by the Supreme Court. The Army's command and exit policy was introduced in 2009, was rejected last year by the Armed Forces Tribunal, but the Supreme Court on Monday reversed that decision. While delivering the verdict, the Apex Court asked the government to create 141 additional vacancies for promotion of combat unit officers. In 1999, the Army's response during the Kargil War was termed sluggish in a report by a government-appointed committee. The Ajay Bikram Singh committee concluded that colonels and brigadiers needed to be younger to efficiently lead the army during wars. The report also pointed out that the average age of a colonel leading an Indian combat unit was 41, while it was 37 for the armies of Pakistan and China. The policy was challenged by some officers who argued that many senior officers would have to forego promotions and be overtaken by junior officers. He also claimed that the policy was skewed in favor of the artillery and infantry arms by giving them more vacancies for promotions. Now, Mysore city in Karnataka has been ranked the cleanest in the country in the government's Swachh Sarvekshan or Cleanliness Survey 2016. It has also won the title last year. Mysore tops the list of 73 cities that were surveyed this year. They included 22 state capitals. Cities with a population of over 10 lakh were eligible. The city of Palaces was also ranked first in a list of 476 cities last year. Besides Mysore, in the top 4 this year are Chandigarh, Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu and the central New Delhi called the National Capital Territory. And at the bottom of this list are Patna in Bihar ranked 70th, Itanagar in Arunachal Pradesh ranked 71st, Asansol in West Bengal ranked 72nd and Dhanbad in Jharkhand ranked last. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's own Lok Sabha constituency Varanasi comes in at a poor 65th. Now, reversing 4 months of rising trends, WPI inflation fell to minus 0.9% in January as food articles, mainly vegetables and pulses, turned cheaper. The wholesale price index base inflation was minus 0.73% in December. In January 2015, it was minus 0.95%. This is the 15th straight month since November 2014 that deflationary pressures persisted and wholesale inflation remained in the negative zone. Food inflation stood at 6.02% in January as against 8.17% in December, according to the official data released today. Time now to take a look at what else is making news around the country and nationwide. The bodies of the 9 soldiers killed in an avalanche at Siachen Glacier were brought to Delhi early this morning. The mortal remains of the soldiers will be flown to their respective places and handed over to their families after giving them full military honours. 10 soldiers of the 19 Madras Regiment were buried under 35 feet of snow after an avalanche hit their post on the 3rd of February. Curfew has been imposed in several areas of Srinagar after separatist groups called for a shutdown to protest the killing of 2 civilians in police firing on Sunday. Schools and offices remained shut and traffic stayed off the roads as people stayed indoors. The 2 civilians were killed when police allegedly opened fire at a group of protesters pelting stones in Pulwama district where an encounter broke out between militants and the forces. A delegation of the BJP led by Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi today presented a memorandum to the Election Commission regarding the forthcoming election in West Bengal and Kerala. The BJP cited the lack of law and order in West Bengal. They demanded the deployment of central security forces and special observers for people to participate in polls fearlessly. The BJP also pointed out discrepancies in the voters list in Kerala and asked the Election Commission to correct the mistakes immediately. Time for us to take a quick break. That's lots more on the other side too. Stay tuned.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries. Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, cessation of hostilities in Syria looks a far cry yet, despite world powers agreeing to just that last week. Turkey continues shelling off at the north of the country against advancing Kurdish militants. The airstrikes have added to an already complicated situation where regime forces have been making significant advances with the backing from Russian airstrikes. Differences with the US-led coalition have also come to the fore.
Hopes of the much-celebrated cessation of hostilities in Syria grow lighter by the day. Both Turkish and Russian airstrikes continue unabated. Turkey against Kurdish militia in Aleppo, Russia against rebel targets. Damascus raising protests with the United Nations. Calling it a violation of sovereignty has not helped either. It also accused Turkey of allowing its soldiers to cross into Syria, a charge Turkey denies. Ankara says its shelling is justified as Kurdish militia in Syria was allied to the outlawed PKK, which has carried out a campaign for autonomy in Turkey.
Ayrıca bu saldırılar esnasında da sınırlarımıza da yönelik tacizler oldu. Yani angajman kurallarını işletmemiz gereken bir durum ortaya çıktı. Ve daha önce aldığımız kararlar mı? Gerek Türkiye'den mülteci akınına izin vermemek.
The Munich conference that threw up hopes of a cessation of hostilities ended on Sunday with no consensus on just how. While Washington has been working closely with Kurdish forces in northern Syria, Moscow is launching airstrikes in support of President Bashar al-Assad. World powers concede that it will take time before stability can return to the war-ravaged country.
Mr. Putin is not interested in being our partner. He wants to shore up the Assad regime. He wants to reestablish Russia as a major power in the Middle East. He wants to use Syria as a live fire exercise for Russia's modernizing military.
Если он хочет получить там длительную войну, то, конечно, можно устраивать и наземные операции, и все остальное. Но не надо никого пугать. Надо договариваться в том ключе, в котором они вели разговор с министром Лавровым.
Close to 5 years of intense war in Syria between multiple internal players and international coalitions has killed more than 250,000 people, displaced 11 million and created an unprecedented refugee situation in Europe. And a dawn still looks further away than ever. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In related news, US President Barack Obama has urged Russian President Vladimir Putin to end his air campaign against Syrian opposition forces. Obama said this to Putin during a phone call. The White House said that during the phone call, Obama stressed the importance of rapidly implementing humanitarian access to besieged areas of Syria and initiating a nationwide cessation of hostilities. The Syria situation has driven relations between the US and Russia to a new low. Ties were already strained by Putin's support for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Russia entered the Syrian conflict in September, launching airstrikes on forces aligned against Assad. US says Putin is desperate to keep Assad in power since Russia's sole remaining military base in the Middle East lies near Syria's Mediterranean coast. Some more international news now in Global Buzz. South Korea on Monday said that the country should have nuclear weapons as concern over rising tensions with North Korea looms ahead of parliamentary polls in April. Opposition liberals have blamed President Park for lacking a clear strategy to deal with the North, which recently tested its fourth nuclear device. Pakistan's Bacha Khan University reopened on Monday, guarded by hundreds of policemen. The university suffered a deadly assault in which 21 people were killed last month. The Bacha Khan attack has spurred the debate on arming teachers in Pakistan once more. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck near Christchurch, New Zealand yesterday. The quake had more than 40 aftershocks. Police said there were no reports of any major damage or serious injuries, but people were evacuated from several buildings as there was some reports of liquefaction. Amateur video captured the moment a cliff collapsed into the sea below on Sunday. The United Nations reported that the civilian casualties of the war in Afghanistan has risen to record levels for the 7th year in a row. Violence continues to spread across the country in wake of the withdrawal of most international troops. At least 7,457 were injured by gunfighting last year, the international organization said in its annual report. All the sports action now on Sports Beat. London Olympic bronze medalist Mary Kom has expressed concern about the administrative logjam in Indian boxing. The five-time champion Mary Kom today said that the future seems dark for the country's boxers who are losing motivation to train. India does not have a national federation after the International Boxing Association terminated Boxing India last year. The sport is being administered by an ad hoc committee. Mary Kom hoped that the administrators would put their house in order before the Rio Olympics in August this year. Ahead of the 6th ICC T20 World Cup, West Indian batsman Darren Bravo has withdrawn from the team's T20 squad to concentrate on the longer forms of the game. The middle-order batsman is the third man to withdraw from the squad, with Sunil Narine and Karan Pollard having pulled out of the original squad earlier. A replacement for the 27-year-old, who has played only 12 international T20 matches, is yet to be named, while Ashley Nurse and Carlos Brathwaite have taken the places of Narine and Pollard. Barcelona maintained their grip on the Spanish title as Luis Suarez netted a hat-trick, including an audacious penalty move with Lionel Messi, to see off a spirited Celta Vigo 6-1. Messi's brilliant free kick opened the scoring at the Nou Camp, but Celta deservedly drew level before half-time through John Guidetti's penalty. However, Suarez took over in the final half-hour as he swept home Messi's fine ball through and before prodding home from point-blank range. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.